Hey everybody, and welcome to another segment of AstrologyAnswers.com's weekly forecast. My name is Terence. The week begins on Monday, November the 22nd. There aren't any major planetary events, so overall, for most people, it's going to be more of an uneventful week or a calm week, which is a nice thing to look forwards to. However, the other day, on the 19th, was a full moon lunar eclipse. 2 weeks later, December the 4th, will be a new moon solar eclipse. And during this eclipse period, the rule of thumb is do not make any major life changes. Just stay with what you're doing, complete any tasks, but don't launch any major new projects or begin a job or launch a new business, launch a website, because during the eclipses, it's a darkening of the light. Eclipses is a darkening of the light. The light is the truth. And so with the eclipses, there's a lot of hidden information you're not aware of. Whereas if you made really important life decisions during the eclipse period, you might regret it. If you had only waited a little longer, you would have had better information to make better choices. So in the big picture, it's important not to make any life-altering change for the next 2 weeks. On Monday, the 22nd, the moon is in Cancer, and the moon sets the public tone. Cancer is nurturing, caring, but it deals with home and family. So there's more of this inclination to want to stay close to home, to hang more with family, or be focused on home projects. Tuesday, the moon continues in Cancer. By mid-afternoon, Pacific time, it's going to be in harmony with Neptune. Neptune is this empathetic, spiritual, creative energy. So that mid-afternoon, Pacific time, that moon Neptune can inspire charity, compassion. You might be feeling more intuitive, so you want to trust your hunches. It can be a very creative time, and perhaps for some of you, it might even be a very romantic time. On Wednesday, the moon will be void, of course, as we wake up in the morning, until 7:58 a.m. Pacific time, when the moon then moves into fiery, extroverted, outgoing Leo. When the moon is in Cancer, we're more reflective, more quiet, goes into Leo. We're more compelled to get out there, socialize, be more active. During the void, of course, with the moon in Cancer, you just, as I mention every week, it is just stay with your current routine. Don't do anything new that's important. But we're in between the eclipses, so especially don't make any really important decisions. But at 7:58 a.m., the moon shifts into extroverted, dynamic Leo, and the moon will be in harmony with the sun in Sagittarius, because Leo is a fire sign. The Sagittarius is a fire sign. Fire can be, when it's in harmony, inspirational, motivational. Thursday, the moon continues in dynamic, fiery Leo. but will be in tension with Uranus. But this will only be from about 7:30 a.m. till about 9:30 a.m. Pacific time. When the moon is in hard angle to Uranus about every 7 days, those couple of hours in the positive could be emotional. That's the moon. Excitement, Uranus. The moon can also represents our patterns and our habits. This could be a very positive time to get out of a stuck routine, to break a bad habit, a boring habit. And it could also mean that there might be some unexpected surprises. But then the rest of the day, the moon continues in extroverted, fun-loving Leo. Friday, the moon in Leo will go void of course for most of the day, from 8:24 a.m. till 6:12 p.m. Pacific time, at which point, 6:12 p.m., it will move into Virgo. Virgo is an earth sign. It's sensible, it's practical, it's analytical, it's work-oriented. Leo wants more to have fun, because Leo also represents children and playfulness and romance. Virgo just is more health conscious, wants to be of service to other people, more like let's get the job done. But when the moon is void, of course, it's not making any planetary events to other planets. So the energy is kind of more flat and unproductive, but good for just staying the course. But again, this between the eclipses, it's almost like a Mercury in retrograde. You don't want to be making really important decisions. And especially on Friday with the moon void, of course, this might be best to just rest, reflect on the past, see where you've been going. Don't take any kind of action, but certainly not any important action until the moon goes into Virgo. Saturday, with the moon in Virgo, will be in harmony with Uranus. Now, here's the moon in a more favorable relationship with Uranus. On Thursday, it was more stressful. The moon to Uranus, late afternoon for a couple of hours, Pacific time, very favorable for trying all new projects. This could be really favorable for a Saturday night, maybe wanting to try something new, a new entertainment, a new restaurant, going to some new social gathering. Virgo tends to be that more routine-oriented energy. But when it's in harmony with Uranus, Uranus is innovative, it's exciting, it wants to break the rules. So going into Saturday evening could, for most people, it may be a very stimulating, exciting time. Sunday, the sun is aligning with Mercury. Mercury rules the mind, curiosity, information. With the sun to Mercury, that sun is putting a real spotlight on conversations, brainstorming, lots of ideas. You certainly would not want to make, again, any life-altering changes, but this could be good for studying, for writing, lots of conversation, brainstorming ideas. Now, before I sign off, I want to remind you I'm available for a one-question offer for a nominal fee. To be able to request it, go to the home page of astrologyanswers.com, click on the tab that's labeled Advisors. Just scroll down till you see my name and follow the instructions. I want to thank you for tuning in. I hope to see you next week with my next segment. Until then, be safe and well.